Am I the a-hole for breaking up with my girlfriend because she literally told me she would chest on me if I took a new job? I know this is going to come across as first world problems. I am currently at a job where I earn about $250,000 a year. I have an opportunity for a job where I will get $640,000 a year. The caveat being that the new job is overseas. I will be gone for months at a time instead of for weeks at a time. My girlfriend is unhappy. She says that she doesn't want me gone for that long, that she will get lonely. I tried to explain that I will only be doing this job for 1 or 2 years, and that the money I make sets us up for a bright future. We can pay off all our debts. We can buy a house. We can travel on my off time. She then said that she doesn't care about any of that, not if I'm gone for that long. She might need company. I didn't understand at first, and I said that we could get the dog she has been wanting to get. She said she meant human company. I said that she had lots of company at work and at school, and she was welcome to use our place to socialize all she wanted. She then spelled it out because I was stupid to think she was a decent human. She said that she wasn't going to go for months without sex. I said I completely understood and broke up with her. She is going crazy right now. She is at her sister's house and calling me and texting constantly. She says that I misunderstood and that she would never cheat on me. Like I said, I'm gone for a month at a time now. So I'm pretty sure she's been lonely before. I can't trust her. And I'm not going to try and build a future with someone who can't think about plans. Am I the a-hole for not wanting to have sex after my wife turned it into a reward punishment system? I think my wife is experiencing a phenomena called the 7 years itch right now. We are married to each other for 7 years now and did not have any serious problems before. Around the end of 2023, she started offering sex for small gestures such as gifts and doing chores. For the last 7 years, and since I have been an independent adult, I make sure to handle my share of chores. She offered mind-blowing sex for me doing her part of chores, which I enjoyed first. Then it turned into gifts and gestures. Mind you, these had all been present in our relationship for the last 7 years. Nothing out of ordinary. That change happened literally overnight. Great sex life. Both take care of other parties' needs by communicating clearly and respecting their wishes. Even though it was good at first, it turned into a form of reward punishment later on. You did not do X, no sex for you. Or good, you did this, and we can have sex. I asked her, what is the deal with this? She did not do it before. She said she gets turned on and feels emotionally connected. When I put extra effort in the relationship, I just rolled my eyes at that. What did even change overnight for it to happen? I should have asked it back then. It has been few months since this started, and I could not take it anymore. I started refusing her advances because it's such a turn-off for me. Yesterday, she came to me and said, you did the chores, I think you deserve a reward. I told her I do not know where you have seen this, but it's getting out of hand. I am not Pavlov's dog that you are giving threat or punishment to. Communicate with me if there is something wrong, but this change you had overnight is ridiculous. Do you expect me to beg for it and obey you in every case? You are making me feel like I have not contributed anything to chores, or did not show you any gestures before that. Just tell me what is happening. Because if we are going to change every good aspect of our relationship, because you saw it somewhere else, this relationship will die out faster than a candlestick. She stormed out crying and slept on the couch. I am getting cold shoulder now. Did my wife turn into an 8-year-old child or what? What is this sudden change, and am I the asshole for not wanting to have sex with her and calling out her behavior? Update. I was planning to talk to my wife today, but surprisingly she came to talk to me in the early morning during breakfast. She apologized and told me the things I said made her understand she hurt me, and she felt terrible for that. She told me she took it too far without reading my reactions. I also apologized for telling her off like that and losing control of my emotions. We had a great discussion about what happened, why it happened, and our marriage in general. I asked her if she thought my gestures were not enough, and she thought share of chores were unfair. She said it's not like that, and there is no problem with share of chores nor my gestures. She has been feeling less confident, and adding a new dynamic to our relationship by making me try more made her feel better, just like before we were married. Also, she told me having less things to do allowed her to completely focus on me and turn her on more. She also stated she was feeling shy initiating due to her confidence, and this dynamic helped her to initiate. I asked if she was happy with our sex life and me. She said she is more than happy, and reward punishment thing has nothing to do with it. My final question was if she had this kind of kink. She said maybe. She felt good playing like that, but accepted turning the whole sex life into this was terrible of her. I agreed while it was good in the beginning. Turning the whole sex life into a reward, punishment system, and doing it all the time became a problem. I told her I am okay with that kind of play, or any kind of play as long as it's communicated. I am a freak, so no problem from my side. We had more talk about private things, but in the end communicated our thoughts and feelings to each other clearly. In the end, she told me maybe I should reward her for being a good girl this time, and this awakened something sleeping in me. I do not know if I will be able to wait for the night. Finally, there were some people demonizing my wife and telling me to divorce or find an affair right away. On the other hand, some declared me as a deadbeat husband abusing my wife by making her mommy me, even though I clearly stated it's not like that in the post. Why people love assuming things with zero information like that to make one party guilty? Chill. The problem is solved, and I would say with that challenge, our love and sex life will level up from the looks of it. Thank you for all the suggestions and help. Cheers. I would appreciate advice, especially from women. Am I the a-hole for telling my friend she can't stay here if she's gonna be at her boyfriend's all of the time? My friend moved in with me and my 3-year-old a couple months ago with her 4-year-old and cat. She is mostly only here when she has her kid, but the days the kid is with her dad. My friend is hardly ever here and is over at her boyfriend's house. She just come to make sure the litter is cleaned. And the cats, because I have a cat too, are fed before she leaves. But she's really never here. It was an entire month of her leaving the house right after getting home from work, spending some time with the cat, then going straight to her boyfriend's. Most nights she doesn't even sleep here. She was starting to leave when I asked her if she was going to her boyfriend's. She said yes, then grabbed her keys. I stopped her and said we really needed to talk about her constantly at her boyfriend's. She said, "What is there to talk about?" I told her that I didn't appreciate her going there almost every day if she was going to live here, and that there needs to be boundaries. My friend said how she is there every night, that she has her kid, and that she only leaves when she doesn't because that's the only time she can see him. She stated that she would invite him here, but she wants to be courteous to myself and my son. So she just goes over there and ends up staying the night, so that she isn't coming through the door very late when my son is sleeping. She asked if this was about her leaving the cat there some days, and mentioned that this was not something I told her would be an issue when establishing house rules. I told her it wasn't about the cat. It was about her never or hardly being here for days at a time when she lives here. She said she wasn't gonna just not see her boyfriend and didn't understand the issue, then walked away. This made me feel confused, and now I'm wondering if I might be wrong. Am I the a-hole? Edit. She has also said that she shouldn't have to adjust her social life just because she moved in. But I've told her it's my house. I have rules and boundaries. She's moved into it, and I feel like she can move in with her boyfriend if this is really a problem. Am I the a-hole for telling my husband to get over my sister getting into an accident in his car? A couple years back, my 36 female sister 31 female lived with us. In this specific case, she was running late to work and her car was in the shop at the time. She begged my husband 37 male to use his car, but he kept denying her and telling her she's too inexperienced. She had been driving for a year and a half at the time. Well, she was in a rush and she made the not so great decision and took his car without his consent. My husband rushed out of the door as soon as he heard the engine start, but he was too late. Well, like I said, my sis was in a rush and ran a red light, causing her to get in an accident. She apologized profusely, and I barely convinced my husband to not press charges and or take her to court. The total cost amounted to $15,000 in damages that my husband has to pay for out of pocket. Anyways, let's get to the actual situation. We host family reunions every year at our house, where both sides of our family come over to just party and catch up. My sister came obviously, and it was pretty awkward when they were around each other. I was talking to my husband and sis about investing, and when my sister chimed in about buying some apartment rooms or houses to rent out, my husband then just came in and said, "Let's hope you don't cost $15,000 in damages this time." My sister just got up and left after that. I brought my husband into the living room inside and told him he needed to get over whatever BS he's holding on to, and I reminded him that accident happened almost 4 years ago. He then said, "Okay, so right now I'll throw your shit in the trash, and in 2027 if you're still mad, I'll bring up this exact conversation." Since then, I've kind of been giving him the cold shoulder and have been ignoring any requests to talk it out in a civil manner. Edit. My sister crashed my husband's car a couple years ago, and he's still mad about it, and I told him to get over it. Am I the a-hole for refusing to quit my job to look after my baby? I 33 female am a lawyer, and my husband 30 for male works in an office. I earn the most money, so when I got pregnant, we decided that my husband would stay at home with our daughter, at least until she was a little older. It's been 2 months since I gave birth to our daughter, and I'm planning on going back to work next month. My husband told me last week that it would be better if I quit my job and took care of the baby, and he could provide for us. I told him no, because there is like no good reason to do that. I earn more than him, and I actually like my job, whereas he hates his job and earns a lot less than me. Plus, we literally agreed that I'd work and he'd look after our daughter. I don't understand what's changed. He called me a bad mom, and he's been really upset with me since. We've been fighting about it a lot because he keeps bringing it up. It was his idea to have a child, and he told me he was happy to be a stay-at-home. Dad, I don't understand why he doesn't want that anymore.